Hello, my name's Ruth and welcome to the STEM Academy North Lincoln Electric Workshop. Today we're going to do some chocolate welding. So to do this workshop, you're going to need some thin chocolate bars, a large glass beaker, a spoon, a bowl of hot water, ruler, a squeezy sauce bottle, 2 plastic beakers, a plastic container, a jug of hot water as a bottle warmer. This activity does use hot water, so just be careful around the classroom. And some weights. Don't forget to pause the video so you can collect all the things you need for this workshop. So in today's workshop, we're going to be learning about welding. Welding is using electricity to fuse 2 bits of metal together. Think of it as like sewing with fire. But today, instead of metal, we're going to be using chocolate. The principles are the same though. When you weld 2 bits of metal together, they end up stronger. And hopefully today, we're going to turn 4 separate chocolate bars into a structure that can actually hold weight. Now, when it comes to industry, we need to make sure that the material we're using is the correct size. So quite often we will measure it and we'll have a spec to follow. Now we're using bars of chocolate, which means they should all be exactly the same size. Now here I've already prepped some melted chocolate and we've put it in our squeezy bottle. Now this is going to act as our wire that we would use with welding. When we're MIG welding, we use wire to help connect the 2 bits of metal together, and this melted chocolate is going to do the same job. I'm going to keep that in some hot water so that it doesn't set. We also have a beaker of hot water, which we're going to use in a little bit, and we have a jig. If you are making the same thing over and over again, you will often have a jig. And today we're going to be making a rectangle of chocolate. So out of the plastic container, I've cut out 2 right angles for our chocolate to sit in, and this should make our job a little bit easier. So I think it's time to weld some chocolate. So we're going to take 2 of our bits of chocolate and we're going to hold them against the glass beaker so that they start to melt. There we go. Nice and melty. Right, so we're going to put them in our jig and then we've got our next 2. So again, we're going to take them, put them on the side of our beaker until the edges start to melt. And then place it in our second jig. Now, this isn't quite enough to hold our chocolate. We're actually going to go in and essentially MIG weld it together using our melted chocolate. So we're going to give the bottle a good shake. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the melted chocolate and we're going to just gently weave. So we're joining those 2 separate bars of chocolate together. And that's what we do when we weld. We take those 2 bits of metal and using the wire, we join them together to make a single part. So let's give it a go. 1 done, on to the next. And you can go back over and smooth that and make it look nice. But we have our 2 bars joined together. And now we're just gonna wait for about 5 minutes, put it in the fridge, just for it to start to set before we join those 2 bits together to form our rectangle. So just pause the video and wait for the chocolate to start to set. So it's been a few minutes and our chocolate's set and it's time to make our rectangle. So we've got our 2 pieces of welded chocolate, and again, we're just gonna take these ends onto the side of the beaker just to melt them a little bit. And then we're gonna place them back in our jig. And then we're gonna put some weld in the sides a little bit. So it does get a little bit messy. And then again on the other. There we go, making sure we get the chocolate right in that gap. Once we have our rectangle, we need to make sure that it all fully sets before we test it. So leave it to one side for 20 minutes or go pop it in the fridge, pause the video, and then we'll come back and test them. So we have our chocolate rectangle, it's all set and we've placed it on 2 beakers. And we have our chocolate bridge. And now it's time to see how much weight it will actually take. So we have these weights here. This is 100 grams, and we're gonna place it in the middle of our bridge. Wow, okay, so I'm pretty sure that a single one of those chocolate bars would not have taken that weight at that point. So let's see how much weight it will actually take. 200 grams, 300 grams, 400, 500 grams, 600 grams, 700 grams, 800 grams, 900 grams. Okay, I do have a 1 kilogram weight here. kind of tempted just to put it on the top and see if it'll hold. Okay, ready? I genuinely can't believe that it is actually holding all of that weight. That's 1 kilogram weight and 900 grams. That is actually insane. I feel like we should find more things to like pile on top of our chocolate bridge. Like, how much will it actually take to break it? Okay, so we found some more things. We've got some bricks. I will be amazed if this holds a brick. Should we give it a go? Oh, I feel quite nervous. Like, is it gonna hold? Ah! It actually might hold. I think it's more the balance on it. Oh, it's going. It's going. It's gone. I mean, that has got some real weight to it. The fact that it took a whole brick to break our metal bridge is incredible. So yeah, we want to test your bridges, see how much weight they take, see what happens when you use a chocolate bar that has holes in it, try and make a different shape of structure. Maybe instead of making a rectangle, try adding some triangles in there. And it's time for you to build and test your bridges. So while you're at it, here's some questions to think about. If you managed to break your bridge, where did it break? What were the weak points in your structure? And if you were to build it again, what would you do differently? So in today's workshop, you've learnt about the principles of welding and construction. We've used chocolate to make our bridges and we've tested the strength of them. And now it's time for the important bit. It's time to eat them. So hopefully you've enjoyed today and you've made some amazing chocolate structures. If you want to see more activities like this, check out our website and we'll see you next time. Bye.